Very happy to welcome you all, dear attendees and dear guest speakers, to this first international webinar in a series of webinars organized by Moulay Ismail University of Meknes in close collaboration with our lead partner, UNESCO. We are so grateful and thankful to UNESCO for permanently extending full support to our activities serving our common goal of ensuring media and information literacy for all. Special thanks go to my colleague, Dr. Alton Griesel, and from UNESCO headquarters, and to Dr. Min Kyok Lim from the Regional Office of UNESCO in Rabat for having extended their full support while preparing this special session with special guest speakers gathering key word figures in media and information literacy who served and co-led the UNESCO Media and Information Literacy Alliance for 3 years from 2019 to 2022 in a difficult period of in our history, modern history during the pandemics. We will have the opportunity and the honor to learn from their experience and expertise. Professor Jesus Law, leader and spokesperson for information literacy, professor at the Universidad Veracruzana in Mexico. Mr. Alexander Luvosi Sayed, journalist, educator, and writer, director of Zeitgeist and host of the TV show Idade Milidia on Canal Futura Brazil. Ms. Irene Andriopoulos, author, media literacy expert, and media analyst, PhD candidate at Aristotle University of Thessaloniki in Greece. Mr. Wallace Shinjung, media and communications international expert, founding director of the Nairobi-based Center for Media and Information Literacy in Kenya, and Professor Shibas Ortiz, Felipe Shibas Ortiz, co-leader of the Media and Information Literacy Cities Initiative and professor at the University of Sao Paulo, Brazil. Unfortunately, not all members of the previous International Steering Committee were able to join because of their previous engagements. Most of them are female leaders in different aspects of media and information literacy. We will miss the female touch, except from, of course, Iran, in this discussion. Mainly, Ms. Sherry Hop Culver from the United States. She was the co-vice chair. Professor Lisa Janik Hinchcliffe from the United States. She was the co-secretary general. Ms. Tessa Jones from the United States. She was the regional representative for North America and Europe. And Dr. Joe Alagaran from the Philippines. He was the regional representative for the Asia Pacific group, and the youth representative, Mr. Daniel Nwazi from Nigeria. Without further delay, I would hand over to my colleague, Dr. Alton Griesel from UNESCO UNESCO representative for introductory remarks. Dear and Alton, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Professor Gracia. Really much appreciated the leadership and commitment in organizing this special event, this special session. I think I can very much call it another family gathering, as we've been having over the past several years. You know, we weathered the storm of COVID
Yes,
together.
it is, in fact.
And as I reviewed the website and look at the plethora of activities that we engaged in together as a community of practitioners and experts on media and information literacy, it was quite mind-blowing what we were able to do in very short time and with very little resources. Welcome to the participants who are connected online to this session. The topic is on media and information literacy for all and by all. And the session is doing two things. One, it's looking at the importance of leadership and collaborative leadership for change. And secondly, also to recognize some of the champions who have made many sacrifices and are very invested and committed to promoting media and information literacy by all and for all. As you heard, I'm from UNESCO. I'm a program specialist in communication and information here in the UNESCO headquarters in Paris. UNESCO is a very noble institution, and I must say that I'm privileged to be a part of the mandate of this organization, founded in 1945 to promote peace and to build peace in the minds of men and women around the world, to alleviate poverty, to advance sustainable development and intercultural dialogue. And UNESCO does this through our different areas of competencies, of education, the sciences, culture, and of course communication and information. Where media and information literacy is situated. And of course, media and information literacy is very much an interdisciplinary field. And so UNESCO, as a multidisciplinary organization, is aptly leading the charge together with our stakeholders, whom you'll be hearing from in this session. Just to go deeper in these few remarks, UNESCO has probably 5 or 6, how would I say, broad functions. One is that, we serve as a laboratory of ideas, as a standard setter, as, a capacity builder in our member states through the different fields of competencies that I mentioned, and also as an international catalyst for cooperation, or a catalyst for international cooperation. And I think we can see aptly again that these functions of UNESCO align very well with the role and of this UNESCO Media and Information Literacy Alliance, this global alliance. It's about, being a laboratory of ideas. That's what Alliance is about. It's about setting standards. It's about facilitating cooperation and synergy, and of course to build capacity. So again, UNESCO, we are very how do we say, pleased to see the success in this alliance and the co-leadership that we have had with the International Steering Committee over the past, let me say, since 2013. If my brain is not asleep, what is the maths? We're in 2003, so it's close to 10 years of the Alliance, the first global forum, global partnerships forum on, the first global forum for partnerships on media and information literacy that was organized in Abuja, Nigeria in 2013, where the alliance was launched formally the Global Alliance for Partnerships on Media and Information Literacy, but now the UNESCO Media and Information Literacy Alliance. So again, we want to just hail and to commend the leadership of the past International Steering Committee. Those who are connected, you'll be hearing from. There was a previous International Steering Committee before that. And of course, the present International Steering Committee that is being led by Professor Drissia and other stakeholders from around the world. In wrapping up these brief remarks, I want to close by focusing on 4 or 5 words that should guide us as we recognize the collaborative work that has happened under UNESCO's leadership and through co-leadership with stakeholders around the world. All right, that there are 4 or 5 words that should, guide us and that should motivate us as we continue on this path of alliance building, and as we continue on the path of ensuring leadership, collaborative leadership for change, if we're to achieve media and information literacy for all by all. So the 4 or 5 words: origin, meaning, ethics, collaboration, and destiny. So origin, meaning, ethics, collaboration, and destiny. And for these 5 words, there's a question that I'd like to link to each one. So the first one, origin, and the question that I suggest as we recognize those who have served and those who are presently serving and those who will come to serve is, who are we? The first question linked to origin. Who are we? We come from different backgrounds, different disciplines, just as UNESCO is a multidisciplinary organization in the International Steering Committee of the Alliance, from information and library science, linguistics, media and communication, journalism, and youth development, and so many different backgrounds. All right. And we have these different, expertise, yet we are all coming together under one. We are bridging our different origins to bring about change, in the lives of people around the world by making them more media and information literate. The second word, meaning, and the question that I link to that is, what motivates us? Given our different backgrounds and expertise and subject area, what motivates us? Why do we stay together as an alliance? And when we speak of the alliance, it's not just it's of course the International Steering Committee and the co-leadership with UNESCO, but it's also the membership of the alliance. The alliance has right now over 700 members in more than 120 countries. And this is huge, how the alliance has grown over the years. And so we hail all the members. We hail all the members of the alliance as well as those on the International Steering Committee. So the second word, meaning, what motivates us? We see what happened in the COVID-19 pandemic. We see how the disinformation around the virus, exacerbated the problem. Vaccine denial. We see the climate change denial. And what is motivating us and should continue to motivate us as a network and as an alliance, all right, is the need for people to appreciate greater depth in information, all right, greater depth in information. There's a push by social media, where it's about as short as the information can be. And so we are eroding the need to read and to investigate and to go deeper. And so this is one thing that motivates us as an alliance and a network and should continue to motivate us, meaning depth of information, but not just the depth of information, meaning in information. What is the meaning of the information that we're engaging with and people are engaging with online? So origin, meaning, the next one is ethics. And the question is, how do we see ourselves in the information and digital ecologies? And as actors, as stakeholders promoting media and information literacy for all and by all, both the outgoing International Steering Committee members and the incoming International Steering Committee members, it's also about ethics and valuing ethics, to see our role in promoting media and information literacy, not just as a job, not just as something that is nice to do, but as a sort of a calling, that we become custodian of, in a way, of the minds of many young people around the world as we empower them with media and information literacy competencies. And so we are called to respect and maintain, as well as we have been doing and must continue to do, certain standards and values and ethics, certain principles that drives the importance of truth and the search for truth, which is what media and information literacy is about. And finally, as I close, the fourth word is collaboration and destiny. I use it as a double word, collaboration and destiny. So originating, meaning, ethics, collaboration, and destiny. The questions were origin, who are we? Meaning, what motivates us? Ethics, how do we see ourselves in the information and digital ecologies? How do we place ourselves in the information and digital ecology? And what role is the ecology playing in our lives, and how we influence that ecology? But finally, collaboration and destiny. Where do we hope to go together as a community of practitioners on media and information literacy? And certainly, this is what you're going to be hearing. The audience I speak to know, you're going to be hearing from the different presenters who are stalwarts and have been stalwarts working with UNESCO to promote this field, where we're going, where we're coming from. We started and where we're going. And where we're going is to promote media and information literacy all for all by all, where we want to see media and information literacy in every school, in every library, in every city, in every media organization, in every community, in every family. This is, the destiny that we are charting together, and a vision that UNESCO is leading and championing through partnerships with, collaborators and stalwarts like yourself. I end with this famous expression. I don't know who said it, but as media and information literacy 101, we have to speak to the source and we have to give credit to those who credit is due. But there's an expression that it goes like this: if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, if you want to go far, if you want to go to greater depth of information and encouraging people to find meaning in information and to give them the competencies to deconstruct meaning in information, we go together. You want to go fast, you go alone. But if you want to go far and have greater impact, you do it together. And this is what the UNESCO Media and Information Literacy Alliance is about. Not necessarily going fast, but going far. And we're doing this together through collaboration to ensure that we have that destiny. And so this is the message for all the audience and all the listeners who are connected online, to ask yourself these questions. Origin, who are we? Who am I? Meaning, what motivates us? What motivates me? Ethics, how do I place myself in the digital and information ecology? And how does it influence my life? How am I influencing and changing that ecology with quality and truth? And finally, ask yourself, how do you collaborate, and what's your destiny to bring about change, and to bring about human solidarity and peace? This is the ideal of UNESCO. This is why we exist. And media and information literacy for all and by all can play that role. So again, we thank all the champions and stalwarts that you'll be hearing from, and those who are also now leading the International Steering Committee, and all the members of the UNESCO Media and Information Literacy Alliance. And we encourage you, join the Alliance and be a part of this change. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Alton. Synthesizing the whole thing in so an original way. Yes, we will keep in mind origin, meaning, ethics, collaboration, and destiny. And we keep in mind, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. Alton, sometimes we are called to go fast, but at the same time to go far. And this is what happened during the term of this steering committee. We had been called all to go fast to find a solution to the problem of the disinformation, which erupted concurrently with the pandemic. We went fast, but we went far, thanks to UNESCO and thanks to the collaboration of all members of the UNESCO Media Information Literacy Alliance, and thanks to all the members of the UNESCO United Nations Alliance for UNOC University Network on Media and Information Literacy and Intercultural Dialogues. These are the two main networks of UNESCO collaborating all together for to make change, positive change. Without further delay, then I will give the floor to Justus. Yes, you were the co-chair of the previous International Steering Committee to whom we are paying tribute today. And as Alton said, we are paying tribute to all the other previous committees and all those who work hard to achieve our common goal of achieving media and information for all and by all, so that there is no single place and no single person who cannot benefit from media and information literacy, because it is a fundamental human right. Jesus, you have the floor, please.
Yes, just give me 1 second. I'm gonna hook my computer that is getting the battery down, and somehow I left my adapter upstairs. Okay, what I'm gonna do is sort of describe our triennial report that I think it does touch the 5 words that Alton shared with us this morning. I think it's a great document that will certainly connect with the region and the destiny that we want to achieve. Just 1 second. Okay, let me share that. I prepared some slides that I hope my colleagues can use or can comment. Okay. Just a second. Okay, there are a few slides. So I asked Licia to give me some extra minutes to share this information with you. First
Please
of all,
do.
yes. Okay, thank you, Licia. Well, Licia has already named the different members of our steering committee, and using one of the words that Alton shared with us this morning, collaboration was the verb that we certainly practice during these 3 years of our term. And as Licia mentioned, the co-chairs were, well, besides myself, Alexander, who, and the co-vice chair, Sherry Hope. Unfortunately, the second co-chair, co-vice chair, resigned. And we had 2 active secretary generals, Irene and Lisa. Both of them certainly work in a very good team. And we have the regional representatives from Africa, Wally. The Arab States representative resigned, unfortunately. In the Asia Pacific was Jose, who was a very active member. The Latin American Caribbean was Felipe, also a very active person in the field and with us. And the North America and Europe representative was Tessa Jols, again, very active. So collaboration was quite good. That's why we had an excellent ISC team. So now I would like to say that each of them had its own contribution according to the skills, the experience that they had. Okay, what did we achieve in these 3 years? First, I should mention that this report is over 250 pages. It is something that we can hand over to the current ISC. And a request that was raised this week by Irene is that we kindly request Alton to upload it at the UNESCO website so they can be read by anyone in the Alliance. Well, the first chapter of the report is obviously the organizational ISC chart. And the second one, a document that we created describing the tasks and roles that each of us should play within the ISC team. The third one was an excellent booklet created by Irene, which has the bio information and the goals of each ISC member. And I guess Irene could comment on that. It's a great booklet. Very well done. Well, this is the first chapter. The second one includes the ISC normative documents. It includes the strategic plan that we work on during the 3 years. It includes an operational action plan, detailing what we did. The third one was the newcomers MIL Alliance procedure. And this is something that we created, and I must say that we didn't apply, but we created these basic guidelines. The last item of this second chapter is the accountability guidelines. Obviously, we did all this work under the leadership of Alton, who was always providing feedback and guiding us about what would be best for the Alliance. The third chapter of
Say UNESCO, please. UNESCO.
Sorry. Well, I must say that thanks, Alton, for your guiding work. The third chapter are the regional normative documents. These include 2 items: general guidelines for organization of the regional chapters, and B, the regional national chapter guidelines. All these documents, I shall repeat this a few times, are yours this year for your current ISC team. The fourth chapter includes the ISC reports. We did an annual report every year. The third one, obviously, the 2022 and the 2021. Obviously, the general one is the 2023. So the reports were elaborated by each of us and then compiled to create a general one. And I just said, and I should appreciate the collaboration of each member providing the information about what they did, what they contributed. The next chapter includes the regional reports: Africa, Asia Pacific. Asia Pacific has the first year only, but Europe, Latin America, and the Youth Committee did have the 3 annual reports, their individual reports. Another chapter that is important for this current ISC team are our ISC meeting agendas. It includes 23 meeting agendas. And for each meeting, we had minutes. Our secretaries were great, Irene and Lisa, who were quite, doing in a very responsible way the minutes for every minute. So this will be, key documents. You want to see what we did, what were the actions that we took during the pandemic, before the pandemic, during the pandemic, and afterwards. The next chapter includes all the member meetings, agendas, and minutes. We had 2 general meetings, general members meetings. And here you have the agendas, as well as a survey that we did in asking suggestions of what the next ISC could do. This is also a very important document. You want to see what the membership would like to see in the next few years. The next chapter, the Media and Information Literacy Awards, includes the information about the awards, who received them during the different years that we had our mandate. It also includes the awards criteria that UNESCO, basically, Alton set up for the awards. And another item, and it's another chapter that includes, I would say, source information for you, is update. The monthly newsletter that we created. It includes this chapter includes update editorial guidelines, the editor's calendar that we created so that each of us could participate, as well as UNESCO, Alton, and professionals from other outside the ISC team. And hard work that we did is to include all the update editorials. So you have, I don't know how many newsletters that we did, but it includes at least 20, I would say, and all the editorials are here in this manual. And if you want to see the newsletters, they should be at the UNESCO website. Finally, I would like to conclude my participation by saying that it was a great opportunity to lead the MIL Alliance. And repeating the 5 words that Alton mentioned, origin, meaning, ethics, collaboration, and destiny, I think that this document certainly links the work that you will be doing with the past. In regard to meaning, it certainly the document describes what we did, what was important for ourselves. And certainly we were a team that followed ethical principles, basically to serve and to do it the best that we could, despite the a voluntary work besides our current jobs that are quite demanding. Collaboration was probably the most important word that we had. We collaborated all the 3 years in the different tasks that we had. Certainly, I think we reached the destiny by doing our best. And this report summarizes our achievements, our contributions to the Media and Information Literacy Alliance. And I would like to say thanks to every ISC member, and also a special thanks to Alton, who was always there for us. Thank you.
UNESCO.
Thank you very much, Justus, for this highly illuminating report and voluntary work by all these people who have the passion for media and information literacy for all, and who advocate media and information literacy for all. Iran, can we give the floor to Alexander, or you are? Yes. So now the floor is to Alexander. 3 to 5 minutes to talk about experience as co-chair. Alex, you have the floor.
Thank you, Drisha. I think the fact you are a female leading this new steering committee means a lot. Not for us, the males that needs to learn with you, but for the world, I mean. It's very important, this message, and you know how much we appreciate your work and your energy. I remember sometimes we talked during the last mandate, and your energy was so strong. I learned a lot exchanging things with you. Yeah, I work close to all those people that I miss so much. Here I look at those faces, and I think I can look to all those faces and say, I learned with you. One day I will tell to everyone what I learned with all of you. And it was a hard work, I must say, because when it finished, I feel there was a kind of a gap in my life. I mean, because there was one thing that was important during the UNESCO MIL Alliance, that you need to keep the wheel spinning. And to keep the wheel spinning is that nobody will do that for you. You need to make it spinning by yourself. What I mean, animate a network. This is not the first network that I've been leading or co-leading, sharing the leaders with other people. But the fact is, animating a network, cheering up a network, it's a duty for those who are dealing with a group, an organization, a voluntary-based network. And so this is an important fact. I'm being a little bit more informal than Jesus, because I think Jesus was passed all the information that was very important in terms of outcomes and outputs that we have been done during our mandate. But there is something that is intangible during a mandate that you cannot measure sometimes, or it's not official. What I mean, And this is what's more important to talk here, I think, is the way that we exchange experience, that we create bilateral agreements, that we partners in projects, not everyone together, but sometimes a few of us, sometimes other different arrangements of partners. And I think the importance of MIL nowadays, it's a global issue. What I mean is that it's a global issue with G, global. It's a mix of global and local because, and this is a role of the UNESCO MIL Alliance. We need to connect the roots. What I mean, the practices, the grassroots movements, the schools, the movements in general, based on media information literacy or media education. We need to connect to the satellites. I mean, we need to connect roots to satellites. The satellites is the public policy makers, are the international organizations, are the people who can amplify those experiences for the entire world, leaving no one behind. So this is for me the meaning of MIL from all for all, because it comes from connecting roots to satellites. And I think this is we work partnering with UNESCO with this, and I think it fits well because Autumn, we are addressing to you a lot of times because you know how much you work, man. How much work do you have in your position, and you are always with a lot of things to do, but you always save some time to give to us and sometimes. So this is important for us every time you address something. So as UNESCO is a huge organization with a lot of mandates to accomplish, the UNESCO MIL Alliance can help to make this connection from roots to the satellites. I think the most important thing that we can do. Believe me, I was in the first meeting in Nigeria when we developed this with UNESCO, and MIL was another thing for the world. Of course, that was a little bit behind from AI, from the misinformation world, known cases in politics and democracies. But now look at the size of people are aware of MIL really more than they were 10 years ago. And now we have this dirty. It's a dirty for strength democracy. And it's a dirty for sustainability. I like this word for that Alton used for the contemporary world, for the societies in the world. When I talk about when I say sustainability, it's not for the environment. Sustainability as a whole. The political sustainability is important. The economical sustainability is important. The social sustainability is important. The balance of power of sustainability is important. So we are talking about information for people to take the best decisions, to take a better life, to participate within the democratic societies, within citizenship, to be a global citizen. So I think we help to raise the awareness of MIL and making these connections from the roots to the satellites. I think this is an image that I have in my mind, that we need to be local with MIL. And there's another image that I want to bring, comes from an Arabic quote, Drisha, but the Anglo-Saxon people like to say a lot this, and I like this, is birds with feathers flock together, yeah? It came from an Arabic quote, this, I researched on that, and it means that we need to flock. We need to flock, even if you are eagles or falcons, we need to flock. Generally, eagles and falcons, they do not flock; they hunt by themselves. But in UNESCO MIL Alliance, we are swallow birds. We need to flock together to get accomplished our missions. And in this sense, I think a great point. There are 2 points that I like to address for MIL for this mandate that is being leading by you and another amazing person like Sylvia Bacher, like Professor Pascal, like a lot of different people that are there. is that one is the rise of AI awareness and rise of AI within the ecology of media. Yeah, this is one thing. The second thing is the municipalities, the awareness of that the city is the place to develop MIL, because where the things happens is within the points of this network. So the idea of MIL cities is really need to prosperate. And the third thing is we need to start to develop a culture of learning on MIL. What does it mean? MIL is not only a subject within the school. It's not only a subject within the higher education. Should be not only a subject within the community. It needs to be part of the culture of critical thinking of a society. It means that MIL needs to be a core, a central piece of what we think about critical thinking. To see the world with an MIL lens, with MIL view. This is really beyond those institutions, it's beyond the networks, beyond. So we need public policies for that. We need public policies for that. We need new arrangements, new learning arrangements for that. We need governance for that. We need governance for all those ideas. And lifelong learning, I love that 5 laws of MIL that we have on the UNESCO created, the 5 laws of MIL. The law I prefer more, I need to admit that out. I'm sorry, UNESCO, sorry for that, but I love the fifth law, which is media and information literacy is not acquired at once. It's a lifelong learning process. I think this is the more fitable and more important law out of the 5, because it shows that MIL is must be part of a culture of learning. Yeah, and a culture of learning, again, Risha, I'm addressing this because, again, it's a meaning of connecting local to global. Culture is a local stuff. And of course, we have a global culture too, but mainly is a local stuff. When we connect roots to satellites, we make this a global issue, and we make it part of our lifelong learning processes. As the EU laws say, from the cradle to the grave. Yeah, this expression is very important for MIL too. MIL from the cradle to the grave, from the kindergarten until we get old, until we need it to be active in citizenship and in human rights. So I'm next to Finland. I'm going to visit Finland, Secretary of Education of Helsinki, for example. She's really aware about the things on MIL in the city, because she knows it's an important thing to develop since the kindergarten. And you know how the Finnish system of beating disinformation works. It's not perfect. There's no one perfect in the world, but we have some reference, and we need to experiment, to try. And I like the way that Alton addressed, we are a laboratory. UNESCO is a laboratory of experimentation too. Need to be, because it's not going to, the first laws against information is not going to work. It's already shown. I can say Nicaragua, Chile, Argentina somehow, and even Brazil, we created laws that the first attempt has failed. But we need to try again. It's not easy to develop a public policy that addresses misinformation, that addresses regulation. So it's a matter of attempting, of merging people, connecting and attempting. So this is a very important role for the new term. It's amazing that we admire so much you and all your colleagues. So I don't know if I extended my time so much. I was expecting you to cut me, Drisha, so I was not counting.
I am not good at cutting. I never cut. Thank you very much, Alexa. Yeah, thank you for your rich experience with all the colleagues from the previous International Steering Committee of for the UNESCO Media and Information Literacy Alliance, the GLOCO. Yes, you see, think globally, act locally. The essential and imperative of critical thinking. The UNESCO revised curriculum for teachers is titled Think Critically, Click Wisely. It shows the power and the importance of critical thinking. And I think that in one of our discussions, yes, or in one of your interventions, you said something very important. You made a comparison between the first UNESCO curriculum for teachers, which was launched in 2011, the last one, and you said so many chapters were included now on artificial intelligence and digital literacy and all with the references which did not exist. Yes, we have to take into consideration, rightly stated, all the ecosystem and all the developments, and to adapt ourselves and to adapt this strategy to new developments and to new threats. This information is a threat to all, to democracy and to all other aspects.
If you allow me, just a curiosity about this, the first curriculum didn't mention, 2011, didn't mention artificial intelligence even once. And the second one, Beyond has a specific chapter on AI and MIL, which is very important. It quotes 297 times the word artificial intelligence. So it shows in 10 years how the things change.
Yes, and it shows in 10 years that UNESCO and all its key partners, the UNESCO MIL Alliance and the UNESCO International University Network on Media and Information Literacy and Intercultural Dialogue and other partners, how they are going, you see, with taken into consideration and proactively. Now there are new guides which were published by UNESCO concerning artificial intelligence and use in education and so on. So altogether, yes, we will make the change. Thank you. Now the floor for Irene.
Let me mute myself. Okay, thank you, Professor Schutte. Thank you, Dricia. Thank you, UNESCO, for putting this webinar together tonight, this afternoon here in Athens, Greece. I know it had many challenges, time schedule, work schedule, time difference-wise to bring us all together to celebrate 2023 Global MIL Week. I'm extremely pleased to be again with you today on this global renewed discussion on media and information literacy among the past International Steering Committee, my colleagues there, whom I have the privilege to call friends. So after Alex's poetic presentation of the field of media and information literacy, I will be more practical and focus more on the challenges that we faced as being the co-secretary general of the term 2019 to 2022. So as the previous speakers, Jesus and Alex has said, the UNESCO Steering Committee, International Steering Committee, it supports, it coordinates action on global MIL, it advises UNESCO and promotes all the activities and initiatives driven by Mama UNESCO. This is a picture, the only photo that I have with most of the members of the International Steering Committee taken together on a physical occasion in Gothenburg, 2019. So I put it there because thank you, pandemic, we didn't have the time for a more physical interaction among this exciting and leading team. So the steering committee, it is a multitasking group. It is a buzzing hub, as Alton said, acting as MIL advocates for promoting strategies and MIL policies all around the globe. Live proof of today's meeting gathering. It is interesting to note that the members of the International Steering Committee, past members and the new members, they all represent UNESCO's human geography, because we have members from practically all over the globe: Africa, Asia, North, South America, Europe, etc. It is the work that is being done has double meaning, because all these people from different backgrounds, from different cultures, they have all put together thanks to UNESCO and work collaboratively and with greater enthusiasm despite the pandemic. So the Secretary Generals, there were two Secretary Generals, one coming from the media literacy field and the other one from information libraries field. Some of the indicative tasks that we were asked, we were challenged, was to document the operational procedures with the other members of the committee, to undertake the promotional activities. I will focus on that later, to maintain an open communication channel with all of our members, promote synergies and cooperation among the members inside and outside the MIL community, identify and circulate content of UNESCO and all the MIL updates that you received through the newsletter, and of course support the global MIL week celebrations any way we could, physically, through the global MIL awards and any other way that we were asked to. The main challenge was how to better liaise with the members. To promote better the alliance, we need to have a regular contact communication channel with the members of the committee. So some of the steps that we took was to make sure that the official website of UNESCO was regularly updated with all the new members, and Alton and UNESCO took greatly care of that. We also designed and produced our International Steering Committee news update. It was our channel, our regular communication channel with the members bi-monthly. We had published 18 issues from June 20 to August 2023. And it was our news bulletin with the news, the latest news and updates, but also the editorials from the members of the steering committee and some invited guest members. And all the editorials were also compiled in this editorial publication that soon will be available online. It is very interesting to have a look at these editorials within these past 2 years, because you can see the trends, the challenges that we all faced as the planet was undergoing this crisis. So all these were reflected from different geographical regions to the editorials. And I quite liked the input from all the members there. We also had the booklet, our Who is Who publication, worked very much on MIL advocacy, and also coordinated a social media closed group. You can find it under Facebook MIL Alliance. So this is our Who is Who publication, our profiles of each member of the International Steering Committee, our vision, our background, and our main premise behind. And this is an overview of the compilations of the editorials. So there you can find around 18 editorials, like mini statements on the state of art of media literacy throughout these past years. And I could also not leave out the EU Mediterranean Working Group that was formed under the EU subchapter, under the Strategic Operation Plan to identify and encourage existing MIL-related networks to become more actively involved in the Alliance. So this was a joint collaboration with ECOME, the National Center of Audiovisual Media and Communication, and UNESCO, was launched in 2018 in Lithuania, with the aim to bring and to focus on MIL in a specific region, the Mediterranean region, and find common geographical grounds and strong activity in the area. And during the 4 years, the group raised MIL in the spotlight as a foundational ingredient of global MIL public discourse. We recruited over 50 members from all over the Mediterranean, and with actions and interventions, we raised our voice into the public discourse on policies and strategies. So these are the countries from the Mediterranean that are members of the Mediterranean group. This is an overview of the actions that we did. We formed 5 task forces, and we sent some mini questionnaires to the members with regards to the task force that they chose to belong. We issued not the 10th actually news bulletin is now out, goes to the members of the Mediterranean group. We had some joint projects. We launched the MIL yearbook. It's under preparation. It's about the global vision that Alex said, global initiatives that were raised and could act as good case studies. The most important that I'm particularly proud of is the COMEL webinar series that were launched during the pandemic due to the absence of physical interaction. So we tried to cover the main issues because it is an interdisciplinary field. So we tried to cover as many fields as possible with guests from the Mediterranean region, but also from the International Steering Committee. And we discussed on the current challenges, the current trends in the Mediterranean area, in the global field, setting a pattern with the global parameters. These are also the second year of the webinars. They're all open, freely accessible from ECOME's YouTube. These are the countries. Over 50 countries joined the webinars online. They took place in English, so it was sorry for the French-speaking regions. They were mainly in English, and I will stop here saying that through post-pandemic wise, it is a time to think critically and act proactively through this hybrid economy knowledge model and explore new media literacy challenges under new prisms such as generative AI. Through my nearly 20 years engagement with MIL and especially through UNESCO MIL Alliance, the pointed challenge has always been for me reaching like concentric circles a media and information literacy consensus for all aspects of our digital-oriented life. So we're getting there faster and better than we thought. And we have to thank UNESCO once more for its over 40 years impactful work on that. I will stop here, Drisha, and then focus on the research project that you asked us.
Thank you very much, Irene. In fact, as we highlighted at the beginning of this session, your term was in a very challenging period, that of the pandemic and the lockdown. Thank you for raising the challenges, but the opportunities offered by these challenges were great. And we were able to produce and to use the digital facilities. When you talked about the ICOM MIL webinar series, this reminded me of the whole MIL community, which was called the MIL Alliance webinars. We were all mobilized to face the challenges of the lockdown, and all regions or people. Sherry Hop Calver, we miss her in this webinar. She was very active, and she produced so many. She was the co-vice chair, and she produced so many webinars within this MIL Alliance webinars. Tornero from the university. They organized the first summer institute online. You see, all the MLI community, all origins confounded, was very active, and we became stronger and we became powerful than before the COVID. So we succeeded to turn the challenges into real opportunities, thanks to UNESCO, and thanks to the mobilizations of all those advocates, those who have the passion for media and information literacy.
Yes, and you know what they say, when life gives you lemon, you make a lemonade. So we made sure to make a very good lemonade, all the members of the Alliance. And this is like a structure. This can be an inspiration structure for the present International Steering Committee, how to mobilize action within the community.
It is, in fact. Bravo, congratulations on all this. Now, we'll give the floor to the former representative of the Africa region. Wallace, you have the floor.
Thank you. I hope my sound is now correct.
No, we hear you.
Ah, perfect. Good evening from Nairobi, Kenya. Wallace, has been said, is my name. Very much to thank Duricia, Alton, Irene, I can see Alex, Jesu, and my friend Felipe. Good to see you and good to meet you. I'm also seeing so many familiar participants in the participants list. Welcome to this almost, I think we had the last webinar, but now it's becoming like the last. And thank you so much, Duricia, for coming up with this. Of course, for me, it has been a great privilege to work with all these amazing professionals in the media and information literacy space. And it has been quite a transformative journey for media and information literacy, not only for myself, but also for our country, Kenya, and the continent of Africa, which I represented in the ISC. So much has happened in the time. I remember back in the day, about 2014, 9 years ago, when I was getting into MIL space, and I was getting introduced to Alton and my predecessor, Chido of Nigeria. Media information literacy, as Alexander observed, was some strange thematic area that many people do not understand. 10 years later, and especially the last 3 years when we were serving at ISC, media information literacy has become a very, I think it's become a robust kind of activity in all the countries, especially in Africa. So for me, I think our focus areas, especially been in 4 thematic areas, which are also the foundations of my center. The number 1 is partnerships. As you can see, we have a very global kind of partnership. This thing has really exposed me even to have partners across the globe. Quite a number of times, even when we are not talking with Alexander in Brazil, we are with Felipe. We are talking with Alton on some projects here in Kenya, with Duricia, with Irene in Europe. So some of them are not even here in the ISC, but I have friends in Bangladesh whom we consult on media and information literacy. I have friends also in the Philippines whom we consult. Some of them have even made a comment here that we have actually inspired them. So on that global scale, media and information literacy has really exposed us, and we have been able to contribute to the development of MIL in various aspects at that level. When we come to Africa, I have seen the growth of media information literacy all the way from Cape Town up to Marrakech. I don't know if Dris is in Marrakech. Across the northern, I know Sami is also a member of the ISC, whom I was also privileged to meet some time back in 2019. And as you can see, to me, this is a great privilege, and there's a lot of media and information literacy activity happening in Africa at the moment. We even have a regional block down this side in East Africa. We have had a conference, a MIL conference just before the pandemic struck in 2020 in Kampala. So for me, partnerships, we have really consolidated our collaboration on media and information literacy. The other one is the awareness creation. I'm sorry. Awareness creation and advocacy around media and information literacy. Some of this uptake you are seeing across Africa and the world has really happened as a result of so many webinars that we did during the pandemic, and we kept on engaging as much as we were not able to meet physically. So awareness creation has really come up in the last 3 years during our term. The other one has been resource development and research. There's a lot that has happened in the last 3 years. I think we have produced so much literature around media and information literacy beyond what UNESCO had done, including the review of the curriculum. And finally, there's a lot that has happened in terms of training and capacity building. Here in Kenya, in Africa, we have been able to do stuff like that. Like in Kenya, we were able to develop a curriculum for teachers that is yet to be adopted in the new curriculum for the students. But we also know that we influence the UNESCO East Africa, Media Council of Kenya, and ourselves. We were able to influence what happened rather in some university that has picked in media and information literacy across all their courses, from undergraduate all the way to PhD. So I don't want to preempt the next question, but I can say that in terms of the part, we have really played our part. Partnerships, advocacy, awareness creation, research, and training in media and information literacy. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, dear Wallace. Glad to see all these activities and the mobilization for Africa and within the African continent. I may just ask Irene, how much time do you still have? Can we listen to Felipe and then give you the floor first to present quickly because
Yes.
For all speakers, please, the part of research, you have to round it up quickly because we are short of time. We'll listen to Felipe, then I give you the floor first because she has a flight. And she should leave earlier. Yes, Professor Felipe Chevas, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Professor Dricia. Good morning, everyone. I am very happy to be here. Greetings to all, of course. I thank UNESCO, Professor Dricia Chouid, International Steering Committee of UNESCO MIL Alliance, and the audience present for this opportunity. I have in these 3 years to be the representative of Latin America and the Caribbean of UNESCO MIL Alliance. During these 3 years period at the International Steering Committee, I learned a lot and had the opportunity to work and grow together with very good colleagues from all of the world. I thank UNESCO again, International Steering Committee, and colleagues, my Latin American and Caribbean team, of course, from UNESCO MIL Alliance, as well as Veronica Yarnik, Professor Veronica Yarnik, the other co-leader of MIL City Network, to the Professor Emmanuel Komikona-Cole, leader of MIL Cities Network for North America and Africa, to distinguished colleagues like Tessa Jols, Divina Frau Makes, and of course, the dear friend Wallace Hishunge present here. And of course, as well as the MIL Cities Network colleagues from the world who have worked with me. And special thanks, of course, to the dear friend Alton Grizzly from UNESCO, of course. We have the opportunity to work closely with other chapters of UNESCO MIL Alliance, such as the North America and Europe chapter, Africa chapter, ASEAN chapter. We work together with authorities such as ministers of education and culture from Cuba, mayors of Kingston, Jamaica, mayor from Havana, Cuba, and Guarulhos, Brazil, and others from Quilimani in Mozambique. Let me share some slides. It's quickly. This is a summary of activities of the Latin American and Caribbean chapter during the period. We have the opportunity to work closely with other chapters of UNESCO MIL Alliance, such as North America and Europe chapter, Africa chapter, ASEAN chapter. We work together with authorities such as ministers of education and culture of Cuba, mayors of Kingston, Jamaica, Havana, Cuba, Guarulhos, Brazil, and Quilimani in Africa, in Mozambique. We carry out a lot of joint research with UNESCO and UNESCO MIL Alliance members from various countries, such as cultural barriers to communication, press freedom, MIL cities, and others. We managed to carry out serious work, not only in Latin America, but also in the Caribbean, an area that is somewhat forgotten. We did fund wonderful projects together, such as elaboration of the action plan of the UNESCO MIL Alliance Committee of Latin America and Caribbean, the creation of mock course of MIL cities, open the MIL cities discipline for doctors and master students at the University of São Paulo, develop a MIL cities metrics software of application together Alton Grizzly and Milady Castro, published scientific articles and launched 4 books with colleagues in different languages. Our books on MIL cities are now available in English, Spanish, Portuguese, and Arabian. They are now being translated into Arabic too. We are very proud for this. We work closely with the UNESCO region of Cuba and the Caribbean. Participation as speakers, as co-organizers with UNESCO and UN world events like the World Days of Cities, Global MIL Week, and World Urban Forum, holding monthly meetings with chapter heads from 8 different countries in Latin America and the Caribbean. Completion of the many research like cultural barriers faced by Brazilian entrepreneurial women in the labor market carried out in partnership with BPW, Business Professional Woman. Participation in UNESCO headquarters activities such as the 50 Jam session UNESCO MIL Clicks 2020. We organized several international meeting culture, communication, marketing, and community congress organized by University of São Paulo and University of Havana with support from UNESCO and UNICEF. Conduct joint webinars and physical courses on MIL, meeting information literacy, in various countries. We have MIL cities pilots in the cities of Guarulhos, Brazil, Puebla, Mexico, Quilimani, Mozambique, and Havana, Cuba. Published books in different languages with support from UNESCO and the Cuban Ministry of Education. Today we work with a joint team from Cuba, Brazil, and Argentina, creating with artificial intelligence a system for evaluating the skill of school teachers with the UNESCO MIL curriculum. Professor Shivas took on the role of the counselor in MIL cities in the digital innovation movement, MIT, an organization that brings together the 200 more important technology enterprise based present in Brazil. Creation of the MIL Women's Web TV program, together with the ASEAN chapter, elaborate the norms, how to open new chapters of UNESCO MIL Alliance. But that's the principal activities, in my opinion, for our chapter. We got many opportunities to grow together. We work in different challenges, and we have the opportunity to work closely with other chapters and other excellent professionals. I am very happy for that, very proud too. And of course, we have a new challenge. Thank you so much for your attention and the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Felipe Chebas. Impressive contribution of the Latin American and Caribbean chapter. You said that you are proud. You have reasons to be proud with the works and books translated into English, Spanish, Portuguese, and Arabic. That is something marvelous. Could you please stop sharing the screen now?
Yes.
We move quickly, few words about your respective research, and I will give the floor first to Irene because she has applied. Irene, you have the floor.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, so as you said, a few things. It's not possible to elaborate more, but why is this not moving? Let me check. Okay, so my current research projects, this is just the biggest ones because I'm involved with many hats in many projects, but these are the more with a global scale, the more interesting that are dealing with media literacy, especially the first one and the third one. So being a member, an advisor group member of Ofcom, the Office of Communication in Great Britain, it's the independent regulatory authority for media. We are working on the Making Sense of Media research group since last year, and it has been renewed for this year. The second project it's called EU Reboot Project. It's an Horizon project with many universities. It is being led by the University of Vienna, and it is about exploring institutional and policy models across the European member states on film competitiveness, creative industries. So has to do with international promotion of film and audiovisual product in the EU. And the third one is, of course, the topic of my PhD, my ongoing and still will be for some years going a PhD thesis. It is about researching on media literacy development and assessment indicators conducted at the School of Journalism and Mass Communication of Arsa University of Thessaloniki, and especially with the great professor of Nikos Panagiotou. The research group of Ofcom, it is focused on the renewed strategy of Ofcom on media literacy, and it aims to research the state of media literacy and share robust evidence base in the UK, but also on a global level. We also work on exchanging of knowledge, of experience, and sharing work with the direct stakeholders and the broader media literacy sector. We plan to inform on Ofcom's media literacy policy and wider online safety research activity. And it is this advisory group panel that it is focused on these 5 elements: research, engage, initiate, establish, and evaluate. So on that note, it has created a media literacy research library. This is the link. It is a very rich, but still with a lot of potential to enrich it with resources, not only UK-based resources, but global resources, articles, orthography, journals, projects, research, anything. This is a very important outcome from the first year of this research group. They issued this evaluation toolkit that has the four, it is divided in 4 units, the overview, preparing, doing, and sharing your research. So this is like a methodology that it is also accompanied by a very up-to-date glossary. So the next one project is, as I said, in the context of my PhD, and within my main support, actually my main and secondary hypothesis, which has to do with media literacy policies and indicators. I have launched this online survey, State of Play of Media Literacy at national level. Many of you have probably come across it. Hopefully you have taken part to it. I have been bugging some of you quite often because it has an extended deadline until October 31st to coincide with the end of the Global MIL Week celebrations. And it is actually based on the indicators. So the target group, it is a multi-stakeholder approach, as we said. So the target group involves policymakers, EU bodies, regulatory bodies, decision makers, also educational specialists, practitioners, teachers, consultants, school advisors. Another target group are the media stakeholders, the national institutions, the governmental officials, and the greater media industry. It also addresses the academic community, research being done on media literacy, and the civil society actor, because as Alex said, we have also to engage this grassroots approach from bottom to top, not only from top to bottom. You can find a very brief and compact media literacy definition that I put together just for the participants to have an overview. This is the definition that you will find in the online questionnaire. So media literacy is the ability to access the media, to understand and critically evaluate different aspects of the media messages and media contents, and create communications in a variety of contexts. This was inspired by the EU communication and recommendation to, it was 2009, but it was extended encompassing the MIL definition by UNESCO. So it is an advanced term, part of an informed and active citizenship, combining a set of skills, knowledge, and understanding that allows citizens to use media effectively and safely. The fields of practice that my questionnaire and my whole research is based upon, these are they are 8 fields of practice. This is the interdisciplinary approach that all of you have mentioned. So I'm looking to find out what media literacy policies take place on a national level, in the school settings, in the media industry, broadcasters, regulators, in libraries, archives, museums, cultural institutions, information institutions. This is the information literacy component, among the civic society, the academic and research, journalists, especially journalist faculties, and distinct social groups, if it's media literacy for adults, for senior citizens, for kids, children only. And I will apply 4 basic indicators and sub-indicators: quantitative indicators, performance indicators, achievement indicators, and accountability indicators. I need a big sample. I need a global sample, as global as possible, in order to have a more fulfilled and compact analysis and evaluation after of the statistics after the report is completed. So I will not bother you more. I have given you the link on the chat. Please take part. And I will close with this picture. These are the Japanese clouds by artist Yayoi Kusama. It's a large-scale floor-based installation of reflective cloud-like forms that create an impression of floating and infinity. I found this on the top of Vanderbilt Summit 1 during my recent trip to New York City. So this was inspiring for me because I am thinking now media and information literacy very similar to these floating clouds. It has this notion of fluidity and plasticity in the metamedia intelligence era, where human and machines intersect towards multiple directions. And this fluidity is what we have to take into account when exploring ways to change our media realities for public good, as UNESCO says. UNESCO is more than capable to achieve that. It is imperative that UNESCO succeeds that. And we cannot be more grateful that we are along on this journey. That would be all for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Irene, for presenting all these amazing involvement in many aspects of research. We remind our media and information literacy community around the world to save some few minutes and respond to the online survey of Irene concerning her PhD researching on media literacy development and assessment indicators. The online survey is about the state of play of media literacy at the national level. When you were presenting, I saw a comment from Jesus saying it would have been great if you had included the information literacy, as you know. Since over then a decade, UNESCO and partners, we are dealing with media and information literacy as a compound set of knowledge, attitude, and competencies. Thank you. Now I'll give the floor to judges. So all the speakers, please, few words about your research because we are short of time.
Well, thank you, Adricia. As time is up, I'll just give the titles of my two research interests. What I have been working on information skills or information literacy for 25 years so far, and have been involved in the creation of information literacy standards for UNESCO and IFLA, which is the International Federation of Library Associations, as also information literacy indicators that have been published by UNESCO and IFLA. So one of the, well, at the heart of all this work, my subject is the role of faculty in fostering media and information skills at university level. So I have done some work comparing, faculty work in China, Italy, and Mexico. The second subject that I'm working on, and I'm, starting since the beginning of this year, is artificial intelligence strategies to develop cognitive writing skills. As you know, media and information skills have three components. One is access, evaluation, and use. With the arrival of artificial intelligence, especially ChatGPT, and others, but I'll use this one as an example. The media and information skills need to change. They need to be upgraded, especially in two parts: evaluation of media and information after the arrival or the advent of artificial intelligence, certainly how to take a different momentum, a different advanced skills. So this is one of my concerns. And the other one that I would say it's even a major concern, it's what will happen with the writing skills of university graduates or the students. With the use of artificial intelligence, writing skills, we have to have a different focus because now, software can do the writing for you. It is not perfect yet, but it is certainly affecting the way students present their essays or anything that is written. Now it is difficult to know what is done by the student and what is done by a piece of software. So I'm working on trying to develop a manual on how to assess and how to develop writing skills with the use of artificial intelligence. That's it. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you very much, Jesus. Yes, two main issues that you raised, the role of faculties in empowering students by the media and information literacy skills, knowledge, and attitudes. And you are being proactive in identifying artificial intelligence strategies. We are facing a real problem and a real threat of concerning the writing skills, concerning the independence and agency of our students, and developing a manual specifically for this is something to be uploaded. UNESCO has already published a guide concerning the use of AI in education. Irene, she is leaving. Bye-bye, Irene. Have a nice trip. Thank you
Bye,
for
bye.
Bye,
being
dear Irene.
with us. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Nice to
Great
see
to
you
see
all.
you. Great to see you.
Great, great. Yeah.
Congratulations for you.
Bye. Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
See you, Erin.
Tricia,
Yes.
just to comment that I'm eager to read my colleague's Alex book so that I can, include it within my artificial intelligence background. I know he has been very active. It's something
Thank you, Jesus. Thank you
I
very
don't
much.
Yes, I don't want to cut you, yes, before you start giving. I see some participants are still connected, and we have failed, hopefully, because we did not at all mention Global Media Information Literacy Week. I know that was a slip on my part at the beginning for us, to at least for those who are connected, the participants that are connected still. Global Media and Information Literacy Week. It's another collaborative work. The network, the week has grown. It's now an official United Nations week over the past 11 years. Starting with the first global conference on media and information literacy that was organized with the support of UNESCO in cooperation with Sidi Ben Abdallah Mohammed University and Ismail University in Fez, Morocco. Since then, the week has grown. This year, the theme is focusing on media and information literacy in digital spaces. So if you're connected, please go to the UNESCO website and see more about Global Media and Information Literacy Week celebration. This year is from the 24th to the 31st of October. The feature conference is being hosted by Jordan, to be held in Amman, Jordan from the 23rd to the 25th of October. If you have not yet registered your events, don't let time run out on you. Please register your events, see our website, share the links with your networks across the world. All right. So just wanted to mention this important flagship event, that culminates the year of activities on media and information literacy in the Global Media and Information Literacy. Thanks, and back to you. Yes, sir. Sorry about that.
Alton, your camera is closed, just to notice.
No, well, it's too late. I didn't realize it was closed.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt you, but
yeah, thanks.
Your voice were heard. Was heard.
Yes. Thank you, Alton. Yes, for raising this, sharing this very important information. Since 2011, UNESCO and partners have been celebrating Global Media and Information Literacy Week at the last week of October. And if you organize events, please do not forget to register them on the UNESCO website events, so that they are registered on the worldwide celebrations of Global Meal Week 2023. This event is organized in this framework and it will be registered. Dear Jesus, yes, the book of Alexander on Artificial Intelligence and Critical Thinking. We move to, we give the floor to Alex, and I'm sure that he will give us brief idea about the book, but for sure it is very related in a proactive way to artificial intelligence and the importance of critical thinking in all aspects.
Thank you,
Alex.
Tricia. Thank you very much. I think Jesus wants to say something, Jesus, and you stop saying, I'm not sure.
Well, I can wait, Alex, after you finish.
Okay.
So that it can take more time, but
yeah.
if there's time, I will finish.
I will. I didn't prepare to anything, but I've just prepared in the last minute some overview here, just to say that I was not ready for this. I need to be. Can you see it?
Yes, we can see
yes,
it.
Yeah. Okay. I'm following up now my humble work with MIL that I'm working for, also for the last 23 years. As you know, I wear several hats. I'm a TV host. I write for magazines as a journalist, articles, but I'm also a entrepreneur in Zeitgeist, where I work with public policies, consultant, developing programs, innovation programs in media, media information literacy and culture too. So I'm following with this, and I came back to the university and started to be more academic, more scholar now. And I like to thank all my colleagues here from the group, because starting from Alton, because I told him in person, but I told Jesus, I told Irene, that they inspired me to look back to the university. And also I finished my master on AI and critical thinking, which I think is very important. And I'm following to the PhD to learn a little bit more about the role of artificial intelligence in lifelong learning, the role of algorithms in lifelong learning processes, which is connected to the, I think, the next step for MIL as well. So I like to work.
Sorry to interrupt you. May other participants please mute your micros, because we are hearing other people speaking. When the screen is shared, I cannot mute you. Other speakers, please mute yourselves.
Thank you, Drisha. I like to work internationally, so I've been part of other networks. Like I'm a member of International Council for Media Literacy, the IC4ML, right now the DCN network. And here in Brazil, with Claudia Vanderlei from Unicamp, we are releasing the first MIL journal here in Latin America, which is very interesting academic research. And we are going to start this on next month. And we have funds for this, so it's going to be the MIL journal released by Unicamp, which is a very interesting initiative. And I'm a board member of BET, which is the largest educational fair as well. I must say that I'm working in the MIL cities field as well. I'm not a chair as Felipe, but I've been working with Santos, the city of Santos, a lot. They are doing a great work there. And I'm working with the network of creative city of smart cities in Brazil. That's 400 cities that would like to be part of the MIL network city. So I've been lecturing for them, and they are connecting 400 cities here in Brazil. It's be a huge step on this too. And with the Presidents of Republic now. Because we have a department now within the president of the cabinet of the Secretary of Communication of the President of the Republic, called Media and Information Literacy Department. So we are working together and defining some guidelines. I'm with my TV show, as you know, for the 5th season. It will be the 5th season, and if you make an account, There's more than 50 episodes on MIL, plus the radio episodes. It's going to be like 125 episodes of MIL available for free, because I have a previous TV show and plus the radio that's filmed too. Nowadays, radio is filmed too, so you can watch in YouTube. So we have 125 episodes on MIL, and I got the news that's very important for me, that within the Canal Futura, I'm the first most watched show. I know Canal Futura is an educational channel for television. It's not a huge audience because it's a kind of BBC or PBS or something like this. It's almost a public broadcast, but we got the first place in audience. So with an MIL team, so it's very important to raise the awareness. In Zeitgeist is this organization where I merge all my efforts. I work with 3 communities in Brazil, in favelas, properly, poor communities, with a voluntary-based work on MIL. I never told about it, but I think it's important because I started my work like this, and we follow up this work with Zeitgeist, working with kids and youth in 3 favelas in São Paulo, in 3 poor communities with MIL, and Carlos Lima, which is a partner of us, of Zeitgeist here. So in Zeitgeist, we do research, project development, teacher training, advocacy, since the conception to the evaluation of programs. All this work I'm telling I'm do via Zeitgeist. I'm a consultant advisor via Zeitgeist. Some are voluntary based, others are work like other works and as an advisor. And we are a hub. So I work several universities, private sector, NGOs, schools, media, etc. This is an image of a workshop for elder people on MIL that we done within the community in Zeitgeist. This is a work in Bogota, Colombia, that we do with the kids, prototyping a hackathon to prototype solutions for the community, electronics, digital solutions for the community. This is Bogota as well. This is a school in São Paulo where we work with the students, creating projects on MIL. And this is a Netflix that we created, a kind of platform like Netflix, but of interviews. So we interview people about education and media, and we make it available for learning. We have more than 100 interviews now on this repository of interviews, and including some friends like Jesus and Sherry Hope Culver. They gave interviews for us. This is a kind of teachers training we do within the community with the graffitis and everything. And this is the TV show that we are on the 4th. This is a character of mine, Dricia. I try to be younger in the picture. So this is the 4th season. The 5th season will come next year. So I'm very happy to be with this TV show that's very recognized here. And as I said, my book it was released in Portuguese, and I put in Creative Commons right now. This is the 20th book I write, and it's not only on communication. I have some novels within, and I started to publish when I was 18. And this book is about artificial intelligence and critical thinking. It's the research I run in Pontifical Catholic University, where I studied the 5 characteristics, 5 aspects of critical thinking, and 5 aspects of artificial intelligence, and I crossed it. And I saw the results. And at the end, I suggest curricula on AI literacy and MIL with AI. So the UNESCO curriculum was deeply studied here in this research. Actually, my final text was 250 pages, but I transformed in a book of 100 pages. So it's the basic things within the book, but you can download the entire thesis for free too. But the most important thing is that I'm going to release in Spanish with Colombia, from a university in Colombia on March, on the International Book Fair in Bogota. And in US, in English, in June next year. And what's been interesting is that in Ireland, in the Trinity School, Trinity College, they start to use this book for a new course called Artificial Intelligence and Critical Thinking. So even if it's in Portuguese, people are downloading and translating it into ChatGPT and having access with it. I got a message from a Greek colleague that read in Greek. He downloaded in Portuguese the PDF and translated into Greek. And Jesus, I'm very honored that you mentioned my book because I always follow your steps in academia. I feel since we share we shared the co-chairs of UNESCO MIL Alliance. I said I must look for my PhD, and I'm starting now abroad. I have some opportunities abroad. I will tell you later, and going. So I'm back to the academia, and makes me feel good. I'm here in Norway lecturing now, and this is a humble work of planting seeds for MIL. And so this is my work I continue doing, and I'm also working with UNESCO. It makes me really proud of it to contribute to all of your work. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Alex. Amazing. You see, I'm following you on social media, and you are the real crystallization of someone who loves, advocates, and puts in practice media and information for all and by all. I see you talking to children. I see you raising awareness of teenagers. I see you talking with experts, writing books. Your TV show is the first most watched show. This shows that it's not true that people like to be entertained than enlightened. You see, people, when they find quality programs, be they in education, in media information literacy, in politics, they follow these programs and they are interested in these programs. And part of our responsibility is to raise the level and to provide quality information, quality publications, quality programs, and make it accessible to all. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Risha. Just one last thing. First of all, thanks for your words. I'm just concerning about the time because I have a professor here, a friend that is waiting next to me here for a meeting. And how long do you think we're gonna take?
Well, we will listen to Professor Felipe and then to Wallace quickly, and
okay,
then we will wrap down.
I will stay because I want to listen to them, and then I will stay with you until the end.
Professor Felipe, please, very quickly. The floor is yours.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, dear Professor Dricia Chowit and colleagues. Let me share quickly my slides. Well, wait a minute, please. The future of urban space, pillar of the network of media and information literacy, MIL cities or MIL cities. Well, a starting point for me in this topic is the Internet for Trust event organized by UNESCO, Quarter General of UNESCO in 2023. I was there in presence and was very, very important event. Starting point 2 is what is media and information literacy? Media and information literacy is considered a combined set of skills, but also a practice convergence of journalists, information specialists, libraries, educators, among others, and their related activities met. Today, with the MIL cities approach, we're thinking about networks of the 5 agents of innovation from around the world: governments, companies, educators, artists, and the common citizen. But what is the MIL city? MIL city, or Media and Information Literacy Cities, is a framework developed by UNESCO, an urban space that can use artificial intelligence and other new technologies, but with ethics, respect for diversity, and prioritize empowerment for the vulnerable groups, organic empowerment of every citizen, educating critical and creative thinking, valuing ecology, in a sustainable way, and of course, a new activity. This framework has synergies or includes others such as sustainable cities, smart cities, healthy cities, educational cities, creative cities, innovative cities, and others. We work with in the MIL city approach with 30 MIL city indicators and 262 metrics. With this, there are here the principal indicators, such as city hall, public institution, roads, urbanism, integral education, integral health, culture, libraries and museums, associations, unions, companies, industries, marketing agencies, artificial intelligence, startups, and digital channels, children, youth, elderly, and other vulnerable groups, environment and sustainability, and integration metrics. MIL Cities approach has been inserted in the vision of the 2030 agenda, and especially of the objective number 11, sustainable cities and communities. But what is a MIL University City? This proposed cities that implement the MIL city framework in a planned way, which can also apply in a smaller urban space like neighborhoods or a MIL or campus of the universities. We got to publish several books about this topic, like this, from smart cities to MIL cities, metrics inspired by UNESCO's vision, marketing, communication, technology, and innovation in the MIL cities. Read, this is other book in Spanish with the Ministry of the Education of Cuba and with the support of UNESCO too. Red de Ciudades MIL de UNESCO y Agenda 2030, Métricas, Educación, Comunicación y Salud. These books are chapters with the authors of every world, and the first one have the chapter, the preface of the Dear Jesus, and of course the second have the preface of the Alexander Lebovsky-Sayat, and these books are the initial words and preface of Alton Grizzly, of course. Well, Ciudades MIL, this the last book was published in 2023, and is the fruit of our discipline in the University of São Paulo, the stricto sensu discipline, post-human diversities, ethics, and paradigm of UNESCO MIL cities. We got here chapters of expert of the world and my students, doctoral students, master students, postdoctoral too. This book is very important for our research, actual research too. This book was published by UNESCO and public defender from Argentina. Infodemic with MIL, media information literacy, have more or less 16 authors, Latin America and Caribbean. Have chapter 2 from Tessa Joles, and 2 from our dear colleague Divina Frau Mates. Well, we implement this discipline in the University of São Paulo. We developed a system. This is very this point is very important. We because we work in this project and develop a system to evaluate the competence with artificial intelligence, the competence of UNESCO curriculum at teachers from Argentina and Latin America. This work we do with UNESCO, regional UNESCO, and we do too with the public defender from Argentina and a team from the of the University of São Paulo and the Natal University. Developed too the implementation of the MIL City Metrics application. We do this with Alton Grizzly and Milady Castro and other team. Creating of the MIL Women's Web TV programs. This program is about the rights of the women rights. Mensual webinars with FML to develop MIL in Africa, together with Veronica, my colleague, my dear colleague, Veronica Jarnik, organized a mensual webinars with mid-city networks. Mensual webinars about mid-cities with our research team, Create Concept, from the University of Sao Paulo. We work together, of course, with the Caribbean UNESCO. We organize annual events about MIL cities. This international meeting, the name is Culture, Communication, Marketing, and Community. Well, we got a pilot of MIL cities and work together with Havana City Hall about the framework MIL cities. We got other pilot of MIL cities in Guarulhos and work together with the City Hall, Guarulhos City Hall in Brazil. We got other pilot in Mozambique, in the city of Quilimane City. Well, and finally, summarizing to promote prosperity in the world through an entrepreneurial education seems to me be necessary to MIL city approach and teach the MIL competence of the UNESCO curriculum, together with other digital skills that are now demanded by companies and the society. That's my opinion. That's my point. And now this my focus, my research focus, MIL cities, and we work with artificial intelligence and other points with a very strong team, an international, very strong team. Thank you so much for the opportunity, and I have at disposal. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much, Professor Shibas, for sharing with us this huge contribution in the framework of MLICTs. Well, Alexander, he has another engagement. If you may like, you may leave because you have another engagement. We'll say
I
bye-bye.
need to apologize for this because I'm supposed to be at 5:30 with him. He's next to me. He's a very professor here in Norway. But I will stay. I love to be with you, Drisha, and all my friends. Wallace,
well,
I miss you so much.
if 5:30, you can listen to Wally.
Okay.
To Wallace.
Okay.
He is the last speaker.
Okay.
Yes.
I will, Wallace.
Yes, Wallace, you have the floor.
You deserve it.
Thank you so much. I don't have much to say myself. I think you guys have set very high standards, but we are trying. I think for me, I am now getting more into local activities with the thematic areas that UNESCO has guided us on. For example, early this year, we were able to have a media stakeholders conference, media information literacy stakeholder conference, whereby we had civil society, academia, regulators, and government involved. Unfortunately, the organizer has not released the report, but there were very rich discussions on how to take MIL forward for Kenya, especially now that we are halfway, almost 3/4 through the development of a MIL policy for the country. We are so much on that. And of course, as the traction goes on, we are going to involve aspects of AI that Alexander has trailblazed, aspect of MIL cities, of which we have kept a lot of traction with Professor Felipe. In fact, Kenya is so ripe for MIL cities, and I think up to by next year, when I'm a bit more focused, we should be able to have some kind of a project with Felipe. And of course, after that, we have also been collaborating with UNESCO. The regional office is here, both in Africa, parts of Africa. The one for Eastern Africa, whereby there's a European Union funded project on how to use MIL to reduce the effects of harmful online content. We had a workshop I think last month in August, a city called Kisumu in Kenya, whereby we involved civil society and youth groups in that capacity building aspect. And lastly, I think the research that I did I was involved in quite recently. And as I mentioned, we want to do media and information literacy, not from a theoretical aspect, but more. We can zero in on some aspects like climate disinformation. It is a research that was done for Eastern Africa. I was involved in it, and we released the report the other day, which had very interesting findings, including how actually journalists themselves fall victim to disinformation, especially for tricky topics like climate change. So there's a lot of areas for intervention on that. And it's an open area for intervention. So I'm sorry. Lastly, we are going to do stuff with aspirant teachers for UNESCO. There is one that we did early in March with Nigeria. Nigeria did the professional there, led by Suraj, whom most of us know, and also Chido. They came up with some kind of a manual extraction from the new MIL curriculum, which can actually be customized for teachers across the world. The teachers can use them to adopt. So we were planning to do one for teachers in Kenya who are under that aspirate. There are about 200 teachers. That would be a critical mass because they are spread across the country. That is some of the projects that we are working on. Of course, personally, I also want to upgrade to where Chuit, Professor, and Felipe is. I want to join Alexander and probably do a PhD. I'm going to consider MIL cities. I know it's when you start offering it in English at Sao Paulo, we'll talk about that for Felipe and see much more about that. Otherwise, my other area of interest is climate change, of course, and we see there are so many aspects of MIL in everything that we do. So, ladies and gentlemen, it was a great pleasure meeting you today. And I want to announce to you that I'm lucky I got a sponsorship to Jordan. So whoever will be there will meet in a few weeks' time. Thank you so much.
Thank you, dear Wallace. Glad to see that you will be in Jordan. And looking forward to meeting you and all other partners there. You have raised many issues, important national policies, national strategies. We have to push towards that. MIL for climate change, MIL to counter harmful content and hate speech. All these are very important elements. We say bye-bye to Alexander. We are winding up. Alton, would you like to say a few concluding words? Alton? Well, it seems, Alton, are you there?
I think Alton dropped the call.
Well, because we have bypassed our time. Thank you very much, dear colleagues. We should have had two separate webinars. One for the experience as a former International Steering Committee for the UNESCO MIL Alliance, and another for research in order to have enough time. It was very enlightening. It was a great pleasure and great honor listening to you and interacting with you. Looking forward to meeting you and seeing you and working collaboratively with you. Thank you very much. Thanks to UNESCO, so much thanks to UNESCO for support and collaboration. Thank you very much, Anton. With this, we say bye-bye to you. Thank you all.
Bye.
See you in other activities.